somebody to lean on.
Hey guys, it's Katie and welcome back to Tipsy Thursday. As y'all already know, I'm not actually tipsy. I'm just bringing you guys some great tips on a Thursday. So today's tips is going to be about how I got my natural hair to grow really fast. When I started taking care of my hair was about like, it was up to my shoulders, because I remember I cut it into a bob, but it was like a little longer than a bob, and it has grown a lot. It is now like about bra strap length, I think. But let's get right into the tips. These are just my top 3 tips that I feel like it made a world of a difference for my hair. There's obviously a bunch of tips and a bunch of different things you can do to actually like make your hair healthier and grow longer, but these are just the top 3 things that works for me. So tip number 1 is take care of your ends. If your ends are always breaking off, then your hair is never gonna appear longer. Everyone's hair grows. It's a protein and everyone makes more of it. And the only reason that some people feel like their hair doesn't grow fast or doesn't grow is because their ends is always breaking off and your hair looks the same length. The way I take care of my ends is I always seal in the moisture. So I moisturize with water and I seal that moisture in. I made this butter for my hair using shea butter, grapeseed oil, coconut oil, and olive oil. And then I whisked it all, I can't say that word, but I whisked it up and it turned into this butter, and I feel like it works great at sealing in moisture. I also use it for like my twist outs and my braid outs and things like that. I really like that, but you can seal with whatever you want to seal your ends with. I feel like that's very important because your ends are like the weakest part of your hair because it's the oldest, and you have to give them some TLC, just like hug them a little. Just kidding. I also protect my ends by sleeping with a satin scarf on. I have a few bonnets and scarves that I like to use, but sometimes if I'm hot or I just don't want anything on my head, I kind of just like to put my scarf over my pillow and sleep on it like that. You don't want the cotton pillowcases or your cotton sheets tugging on your hair and on your ends, so that's the purpose for that. And I feel like my hair looks a lot healthier and I don't get split ends now for that. So tip number 2 is no heat. And I obviously don't mean no heat ever because my hair is kind of heat straightened right now, but I go very long periods of time without straightening my hair with heat. And before, I used to straighten my hair with heat once a week. Like every time I washed my hair, I used to straighten it with the blower or the flat iron, and like my hair just used to stay at like my shoulders, and that's because it was like breaking off and just not healthy at all. As long as you take the right precautions, you don't have to be like scared of putting heat in your hair, but you definitely don't want to do it all the time. Some of the things I do to protect my hair when I do heat straighten it is use a heat protectant. This is the one that I use now and is my favorite one. And I also make sure that my appliances are at the lowest heat that will actually work on my hair. And another thing that I do is if I'm using a flat iron, I only pass it one time. I don't continuously pass it multiple times on my hair. Same with the blower. Once it's straight enough, I don't like keep going over and over and over again, because that's just not good for your hair. And my last tip is be very careful detangling your hair. That's when most of the breakage happens. With natural hair, you have to be very careful with detangling. Most of the time, if I'm gonna like restyle my hair and I'm not wetting it, I just lightly finger detangle and put a little bit of oil on my fingertips. And before I wash my hair, I spritz my hair with water, and then I drench my hair in oil and finger detangle it that way. And it's super easy and my hair doesn't break and it's moisturized. So yeah, I always finger detangle, and I never detangle my hair using a brush while it's dry and like with nothing in it, because that's just recipe for breakage. And yeah, that's pretty much my top tips on how I am getting my hair to grow so fast. I do plan to grow it out even longer. Like, I don't have any goals as far as like how long I'm gonna grow my hair, but I do want it to grow longer, and these things have been working so well at retaining length, because that's the key at growing your hair. Your hair is gonna grow regardless. The key thing is retaining the length, making sure that those ends don't break off and that your hair is healthy. So I hope these tips help for you. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss my videos and you always know when I upload. And I will see y'all next time. Bye. It usually works